have you ever wondered why they only seem to show up when you're exhausted by the chase? When you've decided to let go, focus on yourself, they suddenly reappear with apologies and unexpected gestures of familiar care. Could it be that they truly recognize your value? Or is this simply a psychological game they're intentionally playing? The reality is, some people only crave what they're about to lose. Human nature often fails to appreciate what's within reach, instead desiring what's just beyond grasp. Love can sometimes resemble a game of chase. The more frantically you pursue, the more the other person wants to escape. But when you calm down, focus on yourself, and shine in your unique way, they're drawn to that special allure. It's like flying a kite. The more you try to tug the string, the harder it is for the kite to soar high. But when you ease up, allowing the wind to carry it freely, it flies strong and brilliantly against the sky. Disregard in love isn't coldness, it's the art of keeping a subtle distance. It's when you know how to love yourself, appreciate your worth, and live an independent, fulfilling life. You still care for the other person, but you don't place all your joy in them. This confidence and positive energy become the sweet nectar that keeps their eyes on you. When you take a step back, you not only find inner peace but also create a magnetic pull, an invisible force that draws others' attention. This calm confidence and self-respect become the key that attracts others, like a natural energy that requires no effort. As Paulo Coelho once said, respect yourself because you are not a destination for others to come and go. Your presence in someone's life is something precious, though they may not immediately see its value. The moment you pull away, they'll suddenly recognize and long for what they've lost. In dating and understanding women's psychology, distance doesn't always mean separation. Sometimes it's precisely this temporary distance that gives a woman space to feel the absence, to rediscover her curiosity and desire. Many men, when they like someone, make the mistake of rushing in, trying too hard to create a stable, secure atmosphere. They think that constant availability and readiness will provide security, but in reality, this can decrease attraction. As Friedrich Nietzsche said, all great things must have a certain distance. Distance spices up a relationship. It creates a space for feelings to truly flourish and grow. Imagine yourself as a gentle melody echoing across a vast space. Initially, everyone may be drawn in, but if the music endlessly repeats, people will gradually lose interest. However, when the melody stops, the sudden silence allows listeners to recognize the value of the music and crave to hear it again. Haruki Murakami once said, "Sometimes silence is more powerful than any sound. When you temporarily withdraw, you give them a chance to feel the absence and realize that your presence truly matters." If you're trying to attract someone new, remember that mystery is always a powerful catalyst for curiosity. Don't rush to reveal everything about yourself. Leave spaces for them to discover and conquer. Your confidence and rich life, filled with passions and distinct goals, make you intriguing, sending a subtle message that you aren't dependent on anyone. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot." By centering on your self-worth and mastering your emotions, you not only become more attractive to others but also cultivate a life that is independent and complete. The appeal of independence. The allure of independence is a game changer and the key to understanding why they suddenly want you when you no longer want them. Imagine a familiar scenario. You're always the one making the effort, always available, always giving your time and attention. They may have become used to this and subconsciously take your presence and dedication for granted, treating them as constants in their life. But then everything changes. You realize it's time to focus on yourself, your growth, happiness, and personal goals. You stop waiting for their messages or calls, stop shaping your life around theirs, and begin to live for yourself. The fascinating part is that independence has a powerful attraction. As you start to shine and grow in your own way, it hits them hard, a dramatic shift that they can't help but notice. You're no longer always there for them. Instead, you're an individual building your own life, thriving and shining without needing them. This is when the tables turn and all their attention pivots back toward you. As Marcus Aurelius said, the person in harmony with themselves is in harmony with the universe. When you live in harmony with yourself, you radiate a serene and confident energy that is irresistibly magnetic, and this is precisely what draws others back, wanting a part in your life. Why does independence create this effect? Because independence reflects self-worth, a kind of autonomy and completeness that isn't easily attained. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only thing worth having, and it is achieved by caring less about things beyond our control." When you achieve this emotional freedom, you not only release yourself from dependence on others, but you also signal your inherent value. The story of Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, during his exile on the island of Corsica, is a vivid example. Despite being cut off from everyone in political life in Rome, he continued to develop his philosophy and found freedom in thought, relying on no one else. Author Antoine de Saint-Exupéry wrote, "If you love a flower on a star, at night when you look at the sky, you feel as if all the stars are in bloom." Your confidence and independence are like those stars, captivating, mysterious, and inherently alluring without trying. When you shine with inner worth, others begin to realize they're losing something valuable, a strong, independent person who lives life their own way. So what makes independence so attractive? Independence communicates that you don't need anyone to complete you. As writer Oscar Wilde once said, "The secret of life lies in pursuing your own happiness." When you continually grow, build yourself, and create a fulfilling life without relying on anyone, you become the kind of person others want in their lives, not because you need them, but because you create unique value and exude an energy they can hardly resist. Before moving to the next point, ask yourself, why do they only realize your worth when you stop caring about them? This is something many of us have experienced. You spend time and energy on someone, only for them to treat you as a given. Eventually, you decide it's time to stop, to pull back and focus on yourself. Suddenly, they're overwhelmed by the realization of your value and start craving your attention. But why does this happen? The answer lies in the psychological and emotional aspects of human behavior. When you're constantly available, constantly giving attention and care, it's easy for them to fall into the trap of taking you for granted. As philosopher and writer Khalil Gibran once said, "We only appreciate light when surrounded by darkness." People often undervalue what is readily accessible. It's your withdrawal when you redirect your energy toward yourself that forces them to confront the reality of your absence. Suddenly, what they once took lightly becomes glaringly clear and painfully apparent. They realize they've lost someone who was always there for them, a source of support and perhaps even precious love. As Oscar Wilde famously noted, "The value of something is not in possessing it, but in longing for and missing it." Your absence gives them a newfound awareness of your presence, and in your absence they begin to feel deeply the things they previously ignored or undervalued. The truth is, when you stop giving all your attention to others and refocus on yourself, you awaken their instinct for loss and a realization that they must make an effort to keep the connection. People are always curious about things they can't fully grasp, and mystery is the spark that fuels this feeling. Philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "Curiosity is the first step to wisdom and discovery." If you want them to think of you constantly, start creating space by gradually stepping into silence. When someone knows exactly where you are, what you're doing, and what you're thinking, they easily grow complacent. They assume you'll always be there, always willing to share everything. But when you begin to reduce your presence, a gap forms, leaving them wondering and curious. They ask themselves, why isn't he responding right away like before? Has something changed? They'll spend more time piecing together the fragments you leave behind, wanting to fill the gap that your silence has created. Keeping distance doesn't mean disappearing completely or cutting off all contact. Instead, keep them in a state of ambiguity. As writer Haruki Murakami said, "Sometimes silence speaks everything." Don't block them on social media or vanish from their life. Leave subtle signs like a scenic photo, a joyful moment with friends, or a quote about change. No further explanation is needed, no unnecessary details. Let them sense that your life is still unfolding, vibrant and colorful, without necessarily having them in it. The secret here is unpredictability. If you were once the one to initiate messages, let them be the one to reach out first. If you frequently post it on social media, try taking a break for a while. When they lose the ability to predict you, the control begins to shift back in your favor. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot." By keeping your distance, you not only manage your energy but also reestablish balance in the relationship. Remember, this isn't a game to manipulate their emotions. It's a way to set boundaries and respect yourself. Silence isn't intended to make them miss you. It's so you stop wasting energy on someone who may not fully see your value yet. Instead of revolving your life around someone else, take charge of your own journey. As philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "The strong person is the one who creates their own path, rather than following the path of others." Let them feel the shift in you without you needing to say a word. By maintaining independence and mystery, you not only help others recognize your worth, but also allow yourself to live a rich life that doesn't depend on anyone else. Psychologically, people are often drawn to those who live fully and independently. When you build a rich life on your own, others see in you a strong, independent, and admirable person. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, "True freedom comes when you let go of things beyond your control." By stopping the chase, you grant yourself the freedom to shape yourself as you wish rather than placing your happiness in someone else's hands. The attraction you generate by living fully for yourself isn't superficial beauty but an inner strength, a natural energy that draws others closer, wanting to understand you more. Oscar Wilde once wrote, "To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance." Indeed, when you love and care for yourself, you become a better version of yourself, which not only brings you happiness, but also draws deserving people into your life. Personal growth not only makes you more attractive, but also brings you inner peace. Others will sense a strength in you that's not easily found elsewhere, and it's this that they'll desire not because you need them, but because you are complete even without them. Remember, when you live fully and focus on your own path, not only will others be drawn to you, but you'll also feel a deep sense of inner value, peace, and unwavering confidence. As Epictetus once said, "True freedom comes when you stop worrying about things beyond your control." By letting go of seeking fulfillment in others, you free yourself to pursue a more complete and meaningful life. So continue on your journey not for anyone else, but for yourself. Be the light that guides your life, steady and resolute, and you'll see that what truly deserves you will find its way. Thank you for following along. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more valuable lessons from Stoic philosophy and personal development. See you in the next video.